This is the last of the survey answers. This animation will be more about statistics than the others. I will start off with some basic statistics that may help you in your future. Do you know what qualitative statistics is? Qualitative statistics more concerned with words or lived experiences than numbers. It focuses on giving a voice to the participants.
Some examples of qualitative methodologies are phenomenology, narrative, case study and grounded theory.
Every student had been taught something about residential schools in their education. Here is some information from the survey. For more than a century, beginning in the mid-1800s, many Aboriginal children in Canada attended residential or boarding schools. Many children experienced mental, physical, emotional, spiritual and sexual abuse in these schools. All of the objectives listed underlay the residential school system. Yet in terms of ranking, the primary goal was to expedite the assimilation of Aboriginal peoples into Canadian society, by destroying the cultural integrity and the social structure of Aboriginal communities and individuals. This goal was not achieved, but a great deal of damage was done to several generations of Aboriginal peoples, leading directly to many of the most severe problems in Aboriginal communities and families today. With the remainder of the questions I will explain the basic quantitative statistics of mean, median and mode. The mean is often explained as the average. You would add up all of the answers and divide it by the number of answers received. A good example for this question was understanding what a land claim was. This is how I coded the answers. Each number represents a possible answer. All of them are listed here. 5 individuals answered incorrect and 10 individuals answered correct. In order to start mean, you would first have to work out the total score. 5 incorrect multiplied by the score of 1 and 10 individuals multiplied by score of 2. Add both of them together to get a total of 25. You would take that added score and divide it by the number of students in the class, 15. This gives you a score of 1.67 rounded to 2. On average, the students answered correctly. A land claim is a dispute over territory from a Canadian perspective. The next thing we will look at is the median. The median is the midpoint, the exact middle. Here is an example. Half of the basketballs are on one side and the other half are on the other. Land rights are disputes over territory from an Aboriginal perspective. I lined up the scores in order from smallest to biggest. There are 15 scores, thus the score that is 8th from the left is the median. Just over half of the students answered this question correctly. The mode is the last statistical measure that we will discuss. The mode is the number that occurs most often. 2 students answered incorrectly and 13 students answered correctly. The mode is the answer of correct because it occurred more often. A treaty is a formal agreement between nations. 10 students answered this question correctly. Aboriginal title recognizes traditional Aboriginal governance over territory. Which of the following legal precedents did the Royal Proclamation of 1763 establish? The correct answers were the establishment of reserves and a recognition of the formal nation-to-nation diplomatic relationship between First Nations and the Crown Canada. Overall, the class knew more answers than I did. Congratulations, and thus ends statistics and surveys. Stay tuned for more animated videos made just for you. Miigwech.